Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Problems with my recording sessions here. All right, so we are getting back into challenge 2 here with Jack's TypeScript lessons. Yeah, so getting into generics, tuples, optionals, all that good stuff. Let's just dive into it and get going here.
Challenge. Now, having looked at generics, it's time to actually try out our generic skills. And if you're on Twitter, you might have seen people bragging about something along the lines of, I can do everything with reduce. And so we're going to try that today. The challenge is to reproduce for each, filter, and map using reduce. And they have to be type safe. So I'm going to let you go to that, and we'll be back in just a bit.
All right, so let's get to this. We're going to hit function, my for each, for each. We're going to call this generic type because I don't like just saying T. That hurts my brain. Items, I'm getting used to this. Eventually, I'll just do whatever this convention is, but I don't like it. So GT for general type. Saying what type reminds me of tuples. And a callback function for each function. We're going to do U is going to be general type, and that function is going to return void. And this whole thing is going to return void. And getting into it here. So now we got items dot reduce requires as a matter of fact, you can see this at the bottom down here, right? Reduce callback function, previous value, GT current value, GT current index number array, call specify callback function for all the elements in the array. The return value of the callback function is commit result is blah 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 blah. All right, so reduce requires two things. We can also see this over here on did I reduce up for each? Let's reduce, right? Reduce requires two things. Syntax, right? Callback function, initial value, right? So let's plop that in there. We're going to give you an accumulator and a value, current value. Say something like current value, and then that's going to be an arrow. Let's see, for each function. Now we're going to call that b. Let's set that value as a current value, and based on that may be the end of it, right? Else, whatever that function return is, else we will return undefined. That's how that's going, undefined. Yeah, now let's see here. We got a whole bunch of red stuff here, so what's going on? I think I missed something. Wait, do I have all my curly braces in the right spot? No, I do not. There we go. Okay, there we are. All right, and we need to start. Right. Okay. All right, groovy. All right, so okay. Let's see here. Right, so let me think about this for a minute. So we're starting right. All right. Function on value. return else return undefined. I believe is what's happening here. Right. Start it. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. So now we do my for each. My for each, and you are going to. We're going to call this body, and we're going to start it with an array of simple strings here, A, B, and C. And now we're going to pass our function in here. So function in here. Console.log. Console.log. Squiggly. Alright, pass that value into the string. We're just gonna pass that back. Okay, cool. So now, let's make sure that saves. Now, if I run you, got nobody screaming at me. Okay, cool. Yay! Alright, groovy. Alright. So, yeah. Let's, I kind of want to pause this before I keep going to the next one here. I think let's pause that audio there. Yeah, okay, so now we're ready to get jumping on the next one. The my filter one here, right? It's gonna do my filter next, I believe. Let's see him.
Okay, we're back. While you were away, I watched all the Star Trek movies, and Star Trek 2 is still the best.
Still the best.
Okay, so here's going to be my take on how to do this. So let's start off with an easy one. Let's start off with for each. So I'll call this one my for each. And we know it's going to be a generic, so I'll just use a generic type in there. And then I'm going to take an array of items. And then the callback, let's call it for each func or something, is going to take an item. And it's going to return void. And then the whole thing is going to return void. Okay, so how am I going to do this with reduced? So let's do items.reduce. And we'll take that'll take an accumulator and then a value. Mm-hmm. And then within that, we're going to call the for each func with that value. And then what am I going to return out of all this? I'm going to return undefined. And we're going to start with undefined as our starting point. And there we go. So that's a pretty decent for each. Let's actually give it a try. So we'll do for each on A, B, C. And then our function is going to take that parameter, and then let's do a console log with that. For each, and then that value. All right, now I've got TS node globally installed, so let's try it on index.ts. And there we go, for each on A, B, and C. Looking good so far, so 1 out of 3 down. Okay, let's do filter next. So
filter next. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's see here. We're going to do function, my filter. Oh, hey, let's put this music back on because, yeah. Maybe background music is okay. All right, so we got space here. My filter. Right, so my filter is going to have generic type, right? And that's going to be items, and it's going to receive generic type array, as well as a filter function. So very similar structure as we had before. That filter function is going to be a function, right? can have a function with a generic type value. Receive a generic type value. And that's going to result in a Boolean, because that's what filter does, is it determines does the thing have the thing or not, right? In order to filter through the array that it receives. Right? Okay, so that's going to return us back an array, those results, and okay, so here we go, items, so reduce, inside reduce, we're going to need to pass that generic, pass that type, jeez, come on, fat fingers, pass that generic type in, okay, and let's see, that's going to be our accumulator, current, let's see, current value, let's see, accumulator, current value, those two that get passed in, function, and just like we did before. Okay, so now we're going to, what do we gotta do now? We gotta check if, yeah, okay, so if our filter function, as current value, right? Filter function current value exists, then accumulator value to the accumulator. Let's see. Else we'll just return the, excuse me, we won't return that. We'll return the accumulator. Okay, and we will start off with an empty array, right? Okay. Argument of type is never assignable to parameter of type GT. Oh, really? I think about this wrong. Push current value. Okay, wait, let's see. Really, current value. Argument of type GT is not assignable to parameter type never. To parameter type never. Wait. Argument of type GT is not assignable to parameter of type never? Wait, who's never? wait, who? Current value. Who is never? Who is never? Right. Current value. GT. Okay, wait. Okay, GT. That in there properly, GT. Oh, I must have didn't like put the array in here or something. That must have been it. Okay. So was that what I had? Yeah, okay. Okay, alright, so let's get cracking with this. So, let's see here. Alright, so let's get this going. Console log you out. Call my filter. It's going to do all that stuff that drives me nuts because I haven't fixed that part of my editor yet. We'll say 1, 2, 6. That'll be our array. We will pass. Well, actually, you know what? I always like to do 0, so we're going to do that. 6. Okay, so now Let's get our arrow function going. Value. Fat fingers, man. Okay, now we will test this. Who is equally divisible by 2? 0. All right. I'm missing that thing about, aren't I? Yeah. All right. Okay. So here's our array, and here's the function that we're passing, and we're trying to reduce this by who is evenly divisible by 2. Right. Hang on. I'm gonna do 7 here, and 8. Okay, all right. So make sure that's saved. Right now we go here and go out the previous one, run this one. All right, there we go. Evenly divisible by 2. Awesome sauce. Okay, let's see what he has.
So function myFilter. Again, we're going to take a type, and we know we're going to return an array of those types, and we know that our input is going to be an array of those types. And let's call this the filter func, or predicate if you prefer. And in this case, we're going to return a Boolean saying whether we're in or out. You're in or you're out. Okay, so let us return the items.reduce. And then we're going to take our accumulator and our v. And then we're going to take our filter function and apply it to each one of those v's. And we're either going to get back true or false. So in the true case, we're going to take the existing array, which we get from the starting point. We'll get there in a second. And then we're going to add on the current value. Otherwise, we're just going to return the existing array. And we're going to start with our array. Okay, pretty cool. So let's take a look. So what's going to happen here is we're going to start with an array. And then that's going to come in as the accumulator. We're going to look at the first item. We're going to decide whether it's in or out. And then let's see. So if it's in, then we're going to take the existing array, which is nothing, and then add our item onto it. Otherwise, we're just going to return the original array, which again is nothing. And then we're just going to kind of lather, rinse, repeat that all the way through. So let's do that. Let's try my filter func on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on that, take a look at that. We got a number in there. That's awesome. And we're going to say if v mod 2 is 0, then we're going to print that out, or we're going to go and bring that in. So we'll do a console log on this so we can actually see it. All right, let's check this out. So run it again. Cool. And now it's giving us just the even numbers, because 1 mod 2 is 1, 2 mod 2 is 0, 3 mod 2 is 1, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Then here's, I guess, probably the more complex one of them all, which is my map. So function my map. And again, we'll start with pretty much the exact same thing. But, so let's see, we go map func. So in this case, we are taking a T, but what are we outputting? We're outputting something different, right? So let's call that K. And then, so you have to define it. There's another templated value in there called K. And in this case, we're going to return an array of K, not of T. So
getting ahead of ourselves here. You know how this is. Okay. So, all right, groovy. Yeah. All right. So let me get into this. All right. Cool. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. All right. So, like here. So we've got filter done. Let's get to the very last one of my map. All right. So let's get that going. I want some background music here. I don't know. Do I want some background music? Maybe I want some background music. Let's get some background music. Let's go back one. All right, let's keep that going. All right. So now we've got function. Oops. Eating these fat fingers, boy. Function. My map. My map is going to space. The map is going to need a nice general type, right? Generic type, nice generic type, generic type, and it's going to take another one. We'll call that one K. Let's see here. This one's going to be items. Generic type array, and we'll have a function called map function. All right. Map function. Okay. Map function. Value. Type value. Which will give us K back. Generic type value gives K back, and the whole thing will give us right? Array. Okay. Okay. So now we can do turn items dot reduce reduce accumulator current val. Okay. Accumulated current value. We'll keep that. And yeah, let's see. Let's do current value. Let's do 4. Accumulator and spread the values of the array and add the results of map current val inside of that. And array as SK, there we go. All right, cool. Okay. So let's see. So this map feed you an array 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Value equals value times 2 dot string. Okay, so multiply that by 2 and then we'll convert that to a string. All right, so we'll map this array out into multiply each one in the array, each element in the array to 2 by 2 and convert it to a string. Okay, cool. Ta-da-da. All right, now let's go here. Oh, do we need to save? We need to save that. Save that. Click outside of it, and let's reload that. Ding. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we've got all of all the usual suspects here gathered together for each filter and map. Okay, so let's continue and see who's going to get map TK. Yep. Da items. My function value TK. Yep. Okay. Keep.
So that allows us to basically change the type through our map function. So our map function takes an input, say a number, and returns a string. So this would be a number, and this would be a string. Okay, let's go back over here and do a little copy paste. Okay, and then I'm going to return this array over here. Do something like that. And then I'm just gonna take that map func and apply it to the incoming value. And it's not happy with that. Let's take a look and see what the problem is. So any is not typeable, to type T. All right, well, it probably doesn't know what this is initially, so I'm gonna just define this as an array of K and see if that helps us. And it does, so fantastic. All right, okay, so let's go and try and run this. Let's go and take our map, put it in there, and then in this case, we'll just, how about multiply it by 10, and then turn it into a string. How about that? Okay, and let's run it again. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 became 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 in a string. Awesome. Well, I hope this exercise helped you learn a little bit more about generics and get some confidence with it. Generics is incredibly important to understanding TypeScript and fundamental to what we're going to learn coming up. I can't wait to show you some more great generic stuff with key of and also with these amazing utility types. Really exciting stuff. But in the meantime, of course, if you like this video and this challenge, hit that like button and share it with your friends. In addition, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and you'll be notified the next time one of these videos comes out.
All right, show Jack some love. I appreciate his content here. He's done a lot of work here. So yeah, so that's it for the challenge number 2. And next up, diving into generics with key up. Okay. All right, so let me transition on over here. See you next time. I'm out.